We'll begin in Abuja, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) will soon translate from a public to private ownership just in a matter of months. Well, this is coming barely 24 hours after President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Petroleum Industry Bill into law. Now, within 6 months, the NNPC will become a commercial company, and that's according to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva. Mr. Silva, who was speaking at a press conference in Abuja, said a transitional committee is already in place to incorporate NNPC Limited. All shares in NNPC Limited are expected to be vested in the government at incorporation and held by the Minister of Finance. Mr. Silva noted that although the new Petroleum Act has deregulated the oil sector, subsidy policies will remain in place till further notice. He said an implementation framework for actual deregulation will be established to mitigate the impact on ordinary Nigerians. But while some stakeholders in the Niger Delta region seems not too happy with the passage of the PIB into law, Uche Okoro reports.
For more than 20 years, the country looked forward to the legal framework that would improve transparency and accountability in the oil sector. But hope turned to disappointment for many in the oil-rich Niger Delta region after the Petroleum Industry Bill scaled through the National Assembly. Despite the long wait, President Muhammadu Buhari's decision to sign the bill into law is being described as hasty, as the dispute over its provision for host communities has not been addressed. The allocation of 3% revenue for the development of these communities remains one of the contentious issues.
A nation whose foreign exchange depends on oil, and oil is providing over 90% of our foreign exchange, and then that sector is telling you that they are not happy with a particular bill that is going to determine the trajectory of the country's growth, and nothing was done about it. You went ahead to sign the bill. Okay, so it showed a level of insensitivity, it showed a level of neglect.
Certain people who produce this oil are crying that this thing falls short of their dreams and aspirations. Why not you turn back and look at these things and return back to the House of Assembly and say, why not you look at these areas? These areas are important, these areas are important. Okay, if we say the hands of the president are tied, who tied it?
Lawmakers representing Niger Delta states in the National Assembly have also been criticized for failing to protect the interests of the region through the Petroleum Industry Act.
Coming to the south, you see our senators and our House of Rep members dangling everywhere. Even the scripture says that a man who is unstable in all his ways will get nothing from God. And that's what has clearly played out in this PIBB.
That tells a lot about legislators from the Niger Delta. Okay, at the National Assembly level, before this bill got to the presidency, what role did they play? Did we hear them walk out? Was the decision taken? Were they part of the voting? Who voted for what? Okay, can we hold them to account that you did not represent your people?
Many individuals and groups were outspoken about the Petroleum Industry Bill throughout the decades of its lifespan. But now that it has received presidential assent, the stakeholders say the only way forward now is to push for an amendment of the law. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.